out there. Hey, check it out. Rappers in my backyard. Rappers in my backyard. Rappers in my backyard. Ooh, rappers in my backyard. Rappers in my backyard. Rappers in my backyard. Ooh, talk, express, relate, connect. Talk, express, relate, connect. Talk, express, relate, connect. Talk, express, relate, connect.
What's up, family? This is Lisa O, and welcome to another episode of Rappers in My Backyard. This is episode 3. Do you believe this? It is manifesting so quickly, and it's all because of each and every one of you guys. On my right, I got my girl Leah C. She's going to tell them hello, Leah.
Hey.
She hasn't been doing any sort of using her voice. I'm not quite sure why, but she's going to use it today. And to my left, I got Dano from the Burg. What's up, Dano?
What up, folks? How y'all?
You done came a mighty long way to be with us today.
Yes, I have.
What's that weather like in Pittsburgh?
It's pretty cold. It's definitely cold. But I'm enjoying this weather here. You know, this is where I be.
Hey, well, we're happy to have you. And today we're going to be talking about when relationships grow apart. Go bad, go wrong, go left, go right, however you want to describe that. And these two guests today are going to bring the real to you guys. They're going to share their experiences with you, and I'm going to enjoy pushing them all the way. So let's start this thing off. And the first question I want to ask, and I'm going to pose this to you, Dano from the Burg. Tell me how you met your love interest.
I happened to meet this particular person. It was at my job.
Okay.
So it was at the workplace.
Wow, now that's a no-no.
No, it's
That's
not.
a no-no.
I don't think so.
I don't either. I mean, it all depends on the situation. It
Right,
wasn't
right.
one in which I'd say it was like, you know, a love at first sight type deal. But we just like worked together and, you know, started just talking to each other. And at that time, we just, you know, would go to events and affairs and stuff because we worked at the same place. So we would start seeing each other commonly in common places, and then just started speaking up of a conversation, and then started, you know, noticing that we had some of the same things in common. And then from there, you know, we had went on a couple dates.
So you never heard about that old saying that you do not. Yeah, come on, man. Really? You start dating the girl you worked with?
Nothing's wrong with that to me because some people can do it and some people can't.
Right.
Nothing's
If
wrong.
you
Okay,
can
well,
say-
tell me how you can do it then.
You can
without
do it
going.
if you really actually care about somebody. Like, why should love stop anybody no matter where you're at? Like, if you're at work and you meet somebody, why not give it a try? You just would hope that you would get the right person that's not going to stalk you, and that if you do grow apart, just like any relationship, especially if you're in the same community, you may see that person on a regular basis. You just need to hope that you're with the right person, that if things don't work out, and please don't go into it thinking that way, that, you know, everybody's going to be respectful and wish the best for each other. You know how I am. That's just the way I feel.
Right. And you do believe everything is going to happen
You
the
know,
way
jobs, yeah.
organically. That's great.
You got
and
to
all of
separate
that.
things. You're just supposed to separate things. Wear different hats.
That's very important. You have to separate things because
Sit up a little bit to the mic. I know you lounging and all,
because when you're like at work, first of all, you don't want everyone in your personal business. So it's not like you're all lovey-dovey at work and you're all hugged up in every break or something. They always, you know, you're always together type situation. When you're in a relationship, if you work together, that sometimes can complicate it because I see you at work and then when I go home, I see you. So sometimes you need that break. So, you know what I mean? First of all, the friendship has to be one in which you guys enjoy each other so much that everything else outside You know what I mean? It's
Makes
secondary.
sense.
You know what I mean? But you
Okay.
guys enjoy yourselves together, just you and that individual. Rather, you guys can just be at home and, the laughter, the conversation, the things that you have in common. Like, you can say something and they're saying the next thing right out their mouth, that you were going to say. So, what I mean?
He's about dating somebody at work. So that's how you met your love interest. Now, let me ask you this. Were there any early clues in this relationship that kind of had you saying, maybe I shouldn't go forward with this?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me what that was and how you reacted towards it.
First of all, I was in a relationship when I met this person.
So you were currently in a relationship
Yes, I
when you
was.
met this girl at the job.
Were you in a good relationship or a bad relationship?
I thought I was in a great relationship, but let me explain this to you. I was with this particular individual, already in a relationship, happily. Like, I love this. I mean, it was new to me, and I really was in love with this person at that time, but I don't know what it was. There was some attraction.
It wasn't real then.
You know what I mean?
Right. The initial, my thing is what I'm trying to understand is oftentimes when we're already in a relationship and we feel that we're sufficient or satisfied in that relationship, and then you meet somebody else and then you find out that you may not be so sufficient in your relationship. So
Well, it wasn't
getting
real.
back to what you were saying, though, what I'm most interested in is what you saw in this new relationship that you didn't have already at home, since you're saying you had a relationship.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Let's hear
the
this
relationship that I was currently in at that time. I started seeing signs of like this person was crazy because they were doing things that is just unacceptable. I mean, you don't stab someone's tires. You don't come to their home unannounced and sit on their porch in the snow, and have your child making angels on the porch talking about, I know you're in there.
Get the heck out of town.
Real
That's
talk.
stalker. That's stalker.
Yes. So I didn't know that initially.
Right.
What
It
did you
wasn't-
do to make her do that?
See, why is
was
it
there-
what
No,
did I do?
if there's nothing that you did, then that's really a problem. But
No,
if there's something
that's what
that
I'm
you
saying.
did, come
There
on,
was
we gotta keep it
nothing
real.
that I did to warrant that. I'm not even that type of individual.
You
That's
didn't
why
do
when
nothing. All of a sudden, you just see somebody else.
I
You
wasn't
didn't
home.
not answer a call.
I wasn't home.
Okay.
And I mean, if I don't answer my phone, that doesn't mean come up to my house. Maybe I'm asleep. Maybe I'm not home.
Right.
But I don't do walk
But
bys
did you
and
do
drive.
it like
No, not at all.
repeatedly?
Not at all. Not at all. It's just that this person lived in such close proximity to me, that they could walk right up the street to my home.
Wow.
We live that
Wow.
close proximity, like maybe 2 football fields, maybe 3 football fields away from each other at this time.
Okay, now let's get back to the subject at hand. Now, you had another woman.
Right. So
He
let
went
me
to
explain
his
to you.
job,
I started.
and he met another woman. So let's just concentrate on the woman you met on your job and why that relationship went away or grew apart.
Well,
Let's stay there because I just think that the other relationship is not for this particular show. It's just too much.
Well, that.
to
but
take
here's the
out.
thing. There's a caveat because when I started seeing those signs in that relationship I was in, that's when I kind of sort of started looking outside. Like, well, maybe
At the
this,
job.
You know what I
But
mean?
see, can I just ask one quick question? It's like, I always think about this. When you're starting to like care about somebody or like anybody more, why don't you just get out of it?
But it wasn't-
And then move on instead of hold on to that. It's like, is it a fear of being alone? Because a lot of people have a fear of being alone and they just hold on to that knowing it's not going to be good, but they just want that that body there. And then they end up going off, and then that makes it even crazier for the person that had issues to be like, oh, see, I knew it. It's kind of like just get out of it ahead of time.
In certain situations, that could be applicable, but in my case, it wasn't about a warm body. It wasn't about having availability of
So why was she still around if you found interest in another
Well,
person?
here's
She
the
should already
thing. It
been
was.
kicked to the
I
curb.
wasn't sure if what I was seeing was fact. You know what I mean? I'm like
Factual in terms
Yeah.
of her
See,
losing.
I seen signs of like, hold up, like who does that? Like, then I'm like, well, maybe because she was younger than me, so I'm like, maybe she.
No, age has nothing to do
Listen,
with
I'm
it.
saying maybe I'm giving Bennett. Maybe she doesn't know any better. Some people don't know. Ignorance, the form
always
of
give
not
people the benefit
knowing,
of the doubt, no
is
matter
the
what.
worst.
Yeah.
Even though you would
matter
think that someone should know things. Some people don't know things
matter
they
what
should know.
age, no matter where they're
Exactly.
from, yeah.
So I
Yeah.
said, okay, hold up. Let me fall back and just I'm not going to jump to the conclusion of that because there were so many other things that were good in the
hear you.
relationship. So I was like, well, hold up, maybe. But once that hit, I was like, I looked. I mean, I
So
wasn't
you were more aware of it.
right, but I wasn't
From that
looking.
point.
I wasn't even looking to be with someone else either. It just so happened that
You met this girl at your job.
And
Okay,
the
so let's
chemistry and all
go
that.
with the girl at the job. So y'all had chemistry.
Yeah.
You met her at the job
And
or
then
whatever.
you ended the other relationship, and then you pursued her.
Yes, kind of, sort of. It wasn't
Kept it
like
going.
that. It wasn't that clear cut.
Right. Of course
Because,
it was
I mean,
complicated.
Does
There's
that.
the thing. There was definitely complications because the person that I was separating with had my child.
Oh,
Okay, so that's just
kidding,
another
Bob.
So that's what I'm
layer
saying, that's what I'm
too.
saying, there's-
Yeah, there's layers.
So how quick into the relationship did that happen?
Well, here's what I'm saying. We were together for like. Here's the thing: the individual I had the child with, we were friends for a whole year. We just friends. We watch movies. You know what I mean? In fact, she'd be like, "Look, it's 9 o'clock. I don't have people around my kids, so forth and so on. It's deuces."
So it was totally a friendship.
Yeah,
initially.
for a whole year.
She wasn't crazy.
I'm like, oh, she's straight up. I'm like, you know what I mean? Steadfast. Because I shot my shot a couple, you know what I mean, on the slide. And no, never slipped, never, you know what I mean? Hugged me, then, we kissed. But always was like, okay, I don't have men
So
around
what
my
was the
dude.
deal
Bad
breaker?
rep for
Man.
the real good girls.
What was the deal breaker that took you from this woman that you met at your job to your current girl?
You mean the
what
one
made
that I
you leave that situation and
Because
start
then-
dating this girl at your job?
Because she started doing like wayward things.
and
like,
now
and I don't, I'm first of all, I don't accept you putting your hands on me.
Oh, so there was violence in the
Yes,
previous
there was-
relationship.
like I said, there
That's
was.
what I said.
That's what I said. When I started seeing tires getting slashed, unprovoked appearances, snatching chain off my neck, hit me with umbrellas, throwing my my
So it
Jesus
became
piece down.
violent.
Yeah, so at that point I was
Violent.
like, I can't deal with you. But then at the same token, I'm finding out that she has my child.
Wow. So
That's-
she was pregnant with your child
Oh, she was
while
pregnant
she
with-
was going through all of this.
Yes.
Wow. Now this is the thing that I want to touch on.
Was it her hormones?
Dano? I don't know. I've never been pregnant before, so I don't know. Is
No,
it? Is
it wasn't
hormones?
hormones because it's continued. So it wasn't hormones.
So it's still happening
It's
today. Is what you're
as
saying.
we speak. There's
Jeez.
yes, it's a shame,
sorry.
but
See, that's unfortunate.
those are things that you
That's
got to deal with.
unfortunate.
But that when I started seeing those things, and this is complicated. There's more things to that, but I'm not going to get into that.
Well, let's talk about the one thing that you and I had talked about prior to the show, where you had experienced one day you were on your way to work and she had followed you to the bus stop and was throwing rocks and
Exactly.
so
That's
on and
exactly.
so forth.
Hit me with an
Now,
umbrella,
Share
right.
a little bit
Right,
about
I'm
that.
on my way because, like, once I indicated, is we stayed in close proximity. In fact, I would, at times stay at her house and then go to work from her house.
Okay.
Instead of staying at my house, it's right down the street. So I'm getting dressed, leaving from my house, walking down the street, going to catch the bus. And she sees me at the bus stop. I'm like, let me just, I don't want nothing to
So
say
you're
here.
almost running. Big
Nah.
guy running.
You know what? I ain't gonna lie. Damn near.
And
I'm walking fast because I'm like.
and
guy
she's
running.
like expecting still at this time.
At
Is
this
she
time,
pregnant
yes, she
too?
was
Yeah.
pregnant.
Needs to be
Yes.
relaxing.
So I couldn't hit. That's what I'm saying.
She's throwing rocks, baby.
I mean, look, hit me with an umbrella, rocks. I mean, I had a real nice cross.
she ripped that off.
Ripped it off
too.
and threw it down the street. Threw my cross down the street. I'm like, why would you? Yeah, I mean, really?
Yeah.
And then there were some other things in reference to I had a roommate. There was some disrespect within my roommate and this individual. And once all those things, I was
God
like,
bless
that's
you, Leah.
Thank
Such
you. We
a
need
great
some
sneeze.
blessings around.
Blessings from above. She's sneezing over
that's
there.
when I decided that was a done deal. And this particular individual that I met at work was aware of this situation, and handled it like a woman was supposed to handle it.
So in other words, the woman that you had met at your job was accepting that this other lady was pregnant with your baby, or y'all didn't know this yet? Neither one of you guys.
We knew this, but as I once indicated, there's a little more to this story.
Okay. Did y'all do a threesome or something?
No. In fact, I mean, we had agreed that we were going to abort the child.
You and the bus lady at the bus stop.
Yes.
Okay.
And in fact, I paid the money for the abortion.
You gave her the money.
So
And it never happened.
I'm thinking that she got the abortion.
Right.
Then I'm
No,
like,
you got to
You
go
fell
hand
for like
in hand.
1980.
Look, you got to
Listen.
go hand in hand.
oh, it's it's done, so forth and so on.
That was
Then next thing,
1985,
then
happening
then the
right
next
there.
thing, I'm pregnant. I didn't get it. I changed my mind, and it wasn't even a factor of the
Can
money.
you have your money back? No,
I wasn't even
know
more.
it wasn't, but still.
It wasn't about the money because I was paying her rent and all that as well. Even when she was pregnant with my child and we weren't together before he was unborn, I was still paying her rent, and so forth. So that wasn't even a point. That's the type of individual that I was.
Yes.
So with that being said, that's when I'm like, this person's definitely not. I'm doing all this in.
And she's still not
She's
accepting
still,
of
yeah,
it.
and I mean, even has gone as far to come to my job and say that me and the baby's hungry, and I worked.
She would come up to your job
I worked at a
and tell
Fortune
the people.
500 company. That's not acceptable.
No, it's not.
No, it's
I
not.
lost
You
my
know-
job behind that.
Wow.
Yes.
What the way I see it is, people need to be real with themselves. Women, men, everyone. She wanted to be married and be with you, and she should have
Yes.
just said that.
That's exactly.
I want to be married. I want to be with you. So then that's when things start spiraling out of control because you wanted somebody to just come at you with that instead of
right.
But they don't know. They think you're cool with the whole situation. I mean, I may fall a victim of that because
Right.
but it's okay. I don't act like that though. I just be like, fuck it, whatever. They didn't get it. They're stupid. That's how I do
Right,
it. But
right.
instead, some women feel like, oh my God, you don't get it, and then they just spiral out.
Spiral
Everybody's
out of
different, though.
control. I totally get it
Yeah.
because
I don't
when
get
you
it.
have that
Men do
many
it too. Men do it
layers,
too because I am not into the double standards because I was raised by my dad as well. So I know that men can be
No,
crazy,
we're
women
both
yeah,
guilty,
we're
men
both-
and women.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm
There
not into
are
all of
both,
that.
but
yeah.
like I said, it doesn't. I don't think it has to do with sex. I think it has to do with the individual and how
Yes.
you were raised and brought up. Because first of all, my parents taught me like, look, you don't want to let nobody see you sweat regardless, whether you sweating or not, because people take advantage of that and take your kindness for weakness or take advantage of you in your low point. So first of all, whatever you're going through, you don't want everyone to know what you're going through. You deal with that with your close-knit circle, but that's it. And those people don't run their mouth. Secondly, in those type of situations, you're like leery of, first of all, your feelings and all your business and everything else being put out on you. You know what I mean?
That's so sucks
you-
because that's a problem. I mean,
what
I
we-
agree with you. However, that's also a problem because we need to be more open with each other and vulnerable with
But
each other.
the
and then
key is
things will
with
end up in a
each
different
other, not
direction.
with everybody else.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's the
yeah,
thing.
right.
If me and you have an issue, me and you should work that issue
True.
out. I shouldn't hear it from a third party, or there shouldn't be other ramifications coming back from some stuff that me and
I
you
agree.
are involved in.
Right.
That's what's between me and you is between me and you, and that's how we resolve it between me and you. And if it comes to a point where you and I can't resolve it, it's unreconcilable differences, then we need to decide, is this relationship worth having? Rather friend, girlfriend or whatever, life-wise.
Right.
Because at that point, there's no need in having a relationship.
But you know what I also think, and this was like one of the reasons why I wanted to do a podcast like this, because I just really feel that our relationships would be a whole lot stronger and better if we learned how to just communicate with each other and
agree.
say what it is we want out of the relationship.
I agree.
What is so hard about doing that? And I'm looking at each one of you guys when I ask this question, because let us know, how do you resolve a situation like that? If we don't let each other know what we feel, how can we move forward? If somebody wants to join in something that you're doing in your relationship, then they should have the right to at least come to you and ask you, could they be a part of it? Right. Instead, we just move forward with assuming that somebody feels a certain way. And this is what leads us to these sort of situations that you're expressing.
And you said it clearly, the word assume. You make an ass out of you and me when you assume.
Instead of asking the question.
Because I don't care whether you think it's going to hurt me or if it will hurt me. I'd rather you be straight up with me and allow me to deal with that situation than not.
I would too. However, there are some people that do not want the truth. They want to hear what they want to hear.
Then
Right.
like I said, why wouldn't you want to hear the truth?
Exactly.
What you want to hear is not what it is.
So, I'm sorry. With that being said, people need to go to therapy, because people need to actually realize that they need to hear not only what they want to hear, but they may hear something they don't want to hear. People need to be open for that, and some people are not open for that. They're so like, no, I want to. Then they need to learn how to USA and like hear something that they're not necessarily expected to hear, and learn how to relax and maybe sleep on it instead of react on it, and then revisit that situation later.
That could be true. Now, Leah C., share with us. I know that, me and you have been friends for a while, and I know you've had some relationships that have definitely took a turn. So share with us a little bit about how you deal with that, and just tell us a little bit about the situation.
Okay, first of all, I cannot deal with a situation that I'm not happy in. I don't last very long. I'm not one of those to lead anybody on. I'd rather say, I can't do this anymore. But I still want to be cool and be friends with you, especially if there's a kid involved. If there's not a kid involved, it's like,
you don't need to try to form that friendship.
Like we can still speak, hey, if I see you out, but we don't need to keep in touch anymore.
Right,
that's the way I am. However, no, it's just the way I am. However,
no KIT.
No. However, if we've been dealing with each other for a very long time and there's no kids involved, there may be a little hunger.
What are you hungry for?
Shut your ducky quack quack.
Their part, but not my part. That they're like, because see, this is what I would like to say. It goes both ways, men and women. But especially men. I've heard the saying way too long, since way back, that you ain't going nowhere. When you deal with so much from a guy, especially, they think you're not going nowhere. You're old faithful. You're the bottoms bitch. Oops. Or whatever it may be. Right. They think all of that. And it may be true for so long, but eventually, well,
one day you're going to.
But for certain people like me, you're going to snap. You're going to be like, pfft, you know what I mean? And you're going to move on, and then next thing you know, they stalking you. They jumping through your windows.
So they're ready for the relationship.
Because they thought it would never, ever end. You were down, and I be down. But mean people suck eventually. You know what I mean? They get mean, like, you ain't going nowhere. And then they start talking crazy, like you really have a low self-esteem. No, I don't have a low self-esteem. I was just giving you a chance. I was giving you an opportunity. I was thinking like, no, he can't be crazy. But actually, you probably you know what I mean. And
You
the
know-
same thing goes for females. Females do that. They take a man's kind of. That's why I cannot just say men. I will never male bash because my dad raised me, and I have great
Right.
uncles, and I know that it goes both ways. So with the
Everything goes both ways.
Everything
I just
goes
want to
You,
say that.
you know,
And speaking of both ways,
you know what I mean?
we're getting ready to go to break, and I want both of you guys to hold on to those thoughts.
I gotta hold on to it.
And when we come back, I want to skinny on where everything is with that relationship now and how your kid is.
Well,
And we'll deal with that when we come back.
can I talk about somebody who
So-
climbed through my window when I was asleep?
Yeah, please talk about it. We'll be back, you guys. Thanks for hanging with us. Rappers in our backyard. We'll be back in 10.
Talk, express, relate, connect. Talk, express, relate, connect. Talk, express, relate, connect. Talk, express, relate, connect. Talk, express, relate, connect.
Welcome back, family. Rappers in my backyard, back in the house. Now, we were talking about a serious situation about a relationship and when it just goes left, right, and all over the place. With Dano from the Burg and Leah C, they were giving us what we needed to hear, but we need to get right back to it because, especially with you, Dano, because we're a little bit confused, and a couple people have sent me texts and emails. They're confused. I think when we brought in the fact that you were already in a relationship and then pursuing somebody at your job, I think that's where things kind of just went awry. So we don't want to revisit that. We want to just deal with the fact that you met somebody at your job and that relationship end up going left and right. So let us know, what was it in that relationship that went left? What was the thing that made you decide that you could not go any further in the relationship? What was that thing?
There was just like a series of incidents that were like just unacceptable to me.
Okay, give us one example of something that happened.
An issue that happened like with one of my children, in which it was crazy. It was just very disrespectful. We're both in a relationship. We're both, you know what I mean, taking care of the responsibilities that you have to take care of.
Right. Step up to the mic and let the people know.
And there was just a situation where I had a family member visiting. It was my daughter, and some things were said that just wasn't cool. That I just could not accept.
So she said some disrespectful things in front of your daughter to you?
To me, and in reference to my daughter. Mm-hmm. So at that point, that's a you just not you.
So that was the straw that broke the camel's back in relation to that.
That was the straw that kind of sort of started things going in a spiral, because then there were other situations with my family, and when it comes to my family, there's not a compromise with my family, because my family was my family before we were any type of relationship. So.
Right. But my thing is
that's 100% true. However, however,
with my family, the way me and my family, I don't know.
My family.
I'm saying some people do not have that relationship with their family.
I have that relationship with my family.
I'm not saying I'm saying some people don't. Yeah. So if you're going to pit you against my family, you're going to lose.
So that's a non-winning battle for you. For you, Leah C., explain to us what happened in your relationship a little bit. And what was it in that relationship that made you feel like you could not go farther or forward with the relationship?
Well, see, the reason why I'm going to say something a little different is because my relationship is pretty much primarily with my dad's side of the family. Mm-hmm. And that's how I can relate to men. Mm-hmm. Because I was raised, my mom was there, but I was really raised by my dad and then his family. We were just a bigger family. They were all out here.
Right.
Shout out. Okay,
Shout out to the
Crisp. Hey.
Anyway.
And it's just like, sometimes people take things, they abuse things, or they take it for granted. However, with me, you hear men talk all that, and that's fine. However,
Talk all what?
Like, oh, smack? She crazy. She this, she that.
Oh, okay.
I've never, and people can chime in right now, if you've ever known me dating, and I may have more than one baby daddy, if you ever know me to be crazy, chime in and say it, because I'm always about that 50-50.
Oh, not that 51-50. That 50-50.
So you ain't crazy,
no,
is
50,
what you saying.
I'm not crazy at all, because I
like that. Like, who's going to say they're crazy?
Exactly.
I know I'm not.
No. Don't get me wrong. I'm crazy if you make me go crazy because you do some stupid ass shit.
Right.
However, I'm not crazy. It's not. I'm not going to bring the kid into it. It's going to be an individual thing.
Okay.
I know how to separate things. this has nothing to do with them. And then when you start if you bring in the kid into it, that's a violation.
Right.
It's a total violation. If you bring into like, I really that's a violation. It's over. Even if we're not together. First of all, if we're not together when we don't have kids, it's poof up in smoke.
Right.
But if we have a kid, maybe we need to try to get along because
You
of the
gotta
kid.
get along.
Other
You gotta
than
be able
that,
to cope
yeah, you
here,
have
and-
to. So,
You would hope so.
anyway, I'm starting to forget. You know how I forget stuff. I'm sorry.
Oh no!
You can
Don't
bring me
apologize.
back. Or
Apologize
you can move
to
forward,
the
and then I
audience.
can bring me back. I'm sorry.
No. She's on a 30-second delay. She generally always is.
This has been
and
forever, and
she never is like present right then.
Yeah, but I'll jump
we
back
love
in.
you. We
I'll
love
jump
you.
back in because my mind. Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Oh.
don't apologize. Just walk away. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, but what I was saying to you though, Dano, like the reason
I'm
why I was
sorry.
asking you to share some of that is not so
Oh.
much of
Now I remember, but keep going.
not so much because to validate whether or not his situation was crazy or not, but more so to reflect on getting that same sort of treatment from a male like he's getting from a female, because it doesn't matter when you're talking male or female. When you're dealing with relationships, love makes us do crazy
It
things.
really does, and your eyes are so pretty. They're so light brown.
Oh,
but
thank you.
anyway,
But that's
they
what
do.
I'm talking about. Tell me the crazy. Bring the crazy. I want to hear some crazy.
Oh, you
So-
want to go first? Oh, he's already talked about crazy.
Well,
He
he's
didn't even
already
think
got
about
beat
it.
at the bus stop.
Okay, well,
Can
anyway.
you let us know what
I don't
your
want to put
crazy is?
anybody on blast because you never know what you're going through until you're in that situation. Just like I was saying,
True.
especially guys. And there's some females too. Think you're never going anywhere. They got you reeled in like a fish on a hook. And then all of a sudden, you're just like gone.
Right.
And
You're
they try-
done.
You're done. And they can't understand no matter what they say, no matter what they do. You're just like, and they're just like, what? I can't believe this. And then all of a sudden, they're like, you got somebody over there? Who's over there? Oh my God. They start doing some weird ass shit. And I'm like, wow, you never did this shit before? Like, you didn't even give a shit who I was with before. Like, I
So
couldn't have
after
nobody before.
after you break up, there's this curiosity.
There's this curiosity. They're just like, what does she mean? She's over. Oh, guys think that, he must be doing
Women
all
do
this.
too.
He
Women
must
do
be
too.
doing
But you
all
know
that.
what?
And I'm like, and sometimes, no, hold on. There's been times there's nobody. And there's been times there's nobody. And that somebody may not even be doing that much. They're just nicer.
Nicer after the breakup. you
Nicer,
think?
just nicer. Just you want to go to the movies, fine. Just you want to the movies? Just little
Right.
things. It can just be like somebody's nicer, or somebody's more attentive, or somebody's just. It can be three things. They're throwing it down, or they're available more and ready,
Right.
or they're just like cool and laid back, like what you want to do. It can be all those three things that are very possible, and you thought your ass sitting back there saying, oh, I'm busy, or I didn't answer my phone for days. You got me effed up. But I give people that opportunity, and then
To
I
hang themselves.
I even warn them, hey, well, I'm getting a little bit tired of all this. Hey,
Oh, so, all sorts.
I
of
give
clues.
warnings. Maybe some females don't give warnings, but I give warnings. Oh, good warnings. But I'm a little bit. Okay, you can say whatever you want to say, but I give
But you give
warnings.
warnings.
I give warnings.
Did you give any sort of warnings? I'm
See,
just
I
curious.
give
Yes,
warnings.
I did.
What kind of warnings did you give?
Guys don't give warnings
No,
because
I do.
I don't think we see
I
the
think
warnings
guys
sometimes.
give warnings
see.
like, they're scared because guys, I think, are more scared to be alone than we're scared to be alone.
You think? All right, let's see. What do you think, Dana?
That, once again, that's on a case-to-case basis. And-
Let's
and-
be honest.
No, I'm being very honest.
Okay.
In my case, that's being alone is not a problem.
So why didn't you break up before you start?
Because first of all, I didn't want to just go back out there. You know what I mean?
That's not a good.
You know what I mean? No, I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
I'm
that,
confused.
No,
Well, it's
just-
that whole thing of all of us. I just think,
I just want to make sure before I move on that I'm done. that it's done. You know what I mean?
Right,
Because once
right.
I move on, I don't go back. I'm not calling you like, yo, what's up? Can I come through? Can we,
So how long does it take for you? Because it doesn't take for me that long.
To break up?
No, it doesn't.
When I reach that point, that's it. I mean, it doesn't have like
So
a
what's your
date
time
or a
span?
time. I don't have
You
a
have a
time
time
span.
span.
No, I mean, when I start seeing things are going awry and the
Things were
severity
going
of
awry.
them,
She slashed her tires. That was not a rise.
and that's why we were done. But it was complicated because she had my child. I couldn't just be like,
So you couldn't just cut it because
I would like
she
to let
wasn't
men
going
know
to
though
do
that, and women, because I've told people this before. I've had cousins that like had kids and it's like, oh my gosh, should I have the baby? I was like, if you really want to have the baby, but remember that it has nothing to do with after the fact. Like, don't do this to have the baby. So you're kind of saying as a man, not that she had the baby and you had to be there, but kind of like she had the baby, so I had to do something different. No, if you knew you did not want to be with her, even when you should have said, hey, let's co-parent. I don't want to be with you anymore. You should. I
did that.
And you did that?
I did that.
I remember you saying you had that conversation.
I did
but
that.
So you was with a psycho.
That's what
There
I'm
we
trying
go.
to say.
I'm sorry.
I don't
That's
wanna
what
put
I
a
found.
psycho
No, she
label
was. She
on
was. She
anybody.
was. Because I would never do that. And I wouldn't want my
currently-
brother or anybody
it's
to
not
go through
was,
anything like that.
Currently is. Not was.
And so you do have a child by this
Yes,
person,
and I
right?
still have to have
And
some
you still
sort
have
of
to deal
relationship,
with
and
that.
the relationship is toxic between her and myself.
I would
Do you have like a mediator or something
That's what I'm
that
in
goes
the
in
right now.
between?
I'm going through the process in court right now.
So then, I'm sorry. Can I jump a little?
I mean, I
off
had
the
to get an
subject?
attorney. I
Just
mean,
a little
right
off
now
the
I'm
subject.
going through that process.
That's right now.
My little off
So
the
when
subject.
Dan from the Burg goes back to the Burg, guess what Dan with the Burg's
Going to
doing
court.
to deal with soon as he's going
But
to
see,
court.
this is exactly
Yeah.
why. Like I said, I was raised by my dad, really, and I respect that. I have my uncles, but guys nowadays they throw me off, and I just be like, they're clueless. They don't know what they want because I don't want to say guys like you, but when you see, it's kind of like you don't know what you want. You play with stuff. You see something, and guys are supposed to be so strong, and I know what I want.
But
She's
they
acting
don't
crazy.
know what they want. Just
no,
like we
no.
don't
I'm
know
sorry. Let me
sometimes.
finish. They say I know what I want. They crazy. Women are crazy. Blah, blah, blah. But then as soon as they get in that situation, it spirals out of control. So then that's why the guys that I end up with, I'm like, I don't want to say that because I don't like calling nobody stupid. But I was like, oh no, God, they don't know what they. Especially when I start saying, like,
So you're saying they don't know what they want in the relationship when you guys first
not
start
only do they
out,
not
or
know what they want, they don't see what they really want. I don't know what you guys have that like Black Mirror. Have you saw Black Mirror on that? Y'all have that Black
you're
Mirror things
throwing-
in your
you're throwing
eyebrows.
guys all in one
Right.
category.
See, that's
this
what I'm
is
saying.
not what we want to do.
'Cause
this
The
is
majority of guys.
You. Not, I haven't met any.
Now
guys
let me
like
see.
that.
And
I'm
this
gonna
is
say the majority
and
of
here-
guys.
And here's the thing: when I was saying, like in my situation, in my case, see, I have 5 sisters. You know what I mean? So I've been raised
okay.
around women my entire life. I'm the only son.
I have no brothers.
So you know what I mean? So that's why
crazy.
you
I
so,
see that, guys. If I would have had a brother, I would have been a nun.
so that's why I'm
I would've
more-
been a nun,
I'm
trust
more
me.
I'm more accepting. I'm more catering to a woman more so than maybe some men will because I've been raised like
5
for instance,
sisters,
this
that's-
is my sister. I'm gonna make sure my sister's okay. Period, and she'll tell you
My son's
that.
gonna make sure I'm okay.
My other all my
My cousins
and
are
like
gonna make
my
sure I'm
mom,
okay.
like so all my women. Those are my women. You know
So
what I'm
do that
saying?
make you a little weak?
Not at all. They
Oh,
made-
you're saying the
no.
5 being
what it
raised
made
by women.
you know
Okay, I see
what
you're saying.
it didn't make me weak, but what it did do, it made me more accepting because I know the stuff that y'all go through and y'all emotions
But you're probably
and the
a
way y'all
strong man.
you know what I'm saying.
So
I'm
they
very,
had to break you
they
down
had-
a little bit,
well,
but they didn't build you. They made you more accepting, but they didn't make you say, "Fuck that shit," as you should have. Because
No.
I'm
So
gonna
you
tell-
mean to the girl?
yes?
well, no, I've never
Well, I
been.
don't
It's
know.
never been one of those type of situations where I'm like,
Not like
this.
fuck that.
No,
shit,
but I'm
you
saying,
know what I'm saying.
that's not my demeanor. I've never.
Yeah,
and that
Because they
could
Yeah,
be-
made
yes,
you
you
probably
would-
that
cater
could-
more. You
Yeah,
know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
but then once again, that's why when I'm done because I know how I am. I know I'm not a bad dude. I know that I don't do women bad. I've never put my hands on a woman. I mean, I don't call you out your name. I mean, all my relationships, they will tell you that. He's not like that's not what he does.
So that's not your get down.
That's not me. That's not how I get down. But
So
I know a lot of guys and a lot of my homies be like, man, F that. I just slap. Dude. I mean, I'm saying, that's what I hear from. I mean,
Right.
but I'm like, dude, that's somebody's sister. That's somebody's mom.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. Man, she stepped in my face and she want to be like, then she's woman enough to da-da-da. She better, nah, dude. I'm so.
Is
that
it
has
because
to do,
you have you've been raised by the five
Exactly.
sisters? Do
Exactly.
you think if you weren't raised by women in your family
I'd
that
have
you
popped
would
one by
feel
now.
you
I'd
would
have
have popped one?
Yeah. Because
Okay, well there's your answer.
I'm gonna be honest with
He
you
would pop
because
somebody.
I would have popped somebody already.
And see that's the thing.
Because I mean, once you've been hit
can't
with
pop
right,
nobody.
but once you've been hit with bottles, your eyes been blacked, your lips been busted, your boys.
Then you go to court.
Listen,
First of all-
hold up, your boys are sitting there telling you, look.
First of all, if my sons-
listen.
Yeah.
My boys are sitting there teasing me like, yeah, I'm gonna call your wife. I'm gonna call.
Oh, no
You know,
way.
because you
what
know.
kind of friends you got?
They're just pulling my chain because they know that.
okay.
You know what I mean? They know I play football. I'm a big dude. You know what I mean? I'm physical, been that period my entire. So, you know, you sitting here, we all chilling. You got black eye. Who punched you in your eye? You know, we know it wasn't no dude.
Right,
You know?
it was your
First
girl.
of all, I don't know.
And Leah,
So,
Leah
it's crazy.
C's over here going nuts because she was raised by her dad
and her brothers.
and your
Ever.
brothers.
No, I had no brothers.
No, she
I
don't
had
have any
cousins,
brothers.
but sisters,
Oh, okay.
and I'm the
Right.
oldest. However, I had a very, very good mother. I can't say mother-in-law because I wasn't married, but a good mother-in-law. I had 2 kids first, and she was like,
She toughed you up
she was
a
a
bit.
Leo like me, so she was just like, girl, I wouldn't even give him the time of the day. She was like,
Oh,
that.
my goodness,
Heck
to her
yeah.
own son?
Heck yeah.
Oh,
And that's
gosh.
the way I am. But I have good sons because I prayed. I even wrote something down. I did a little. I'm gonna have to.
When's your birthday? In
I'm a
April?
Leo. I'm July.
July,
I'm early.
July.
So
She
I even
believes
like
that
wrote
zodiac
something
stuff,
before, and I
too.
was just like, please let my sons be like my dad and my uncles. Blah, blah, blah. And I have some really good sons. And my son's age. Do we want to tell the age?
No, don't
but
tell the
anyway,
ages. No, I'm just-
whoop, there it is. I have some good sons and upcoming sons. And the thing.
So,
Yeah,
what did
go
you
ahead.
just get on your text? Was that your girl?
No.
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. Because
my
I see
daughter.
you. Oh.
Is she
his
coming
daughter.
through?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
I
she's coming
love
through
to
the
see
show.
her. I
That's
love
going to
to
be
there.
good to see your daughter. But let's get back to this because Leah's over here like feeling some kind of way
I'm not feeling
about just this whole crazy thing as far as this relationship goes with him. And what I'm trying to do mainly, Dano, is trying to put out that particular message that everybody is different. There's a
Everybody's
man out there just like him.
I
And there's a
totally
woman
agree.
out there just like you. And what I want is for the both of you to be able to see the difference in the way that both of you guys deal with this subject, specifically Dano, because like I said prior to the show, he was discussing with me all of these different things that he went through. And I know from previous conversations with you, some of the crazy things. And today you have a resolution to it, but then you didn't.
have a
So
resolution.
because you have a resolution now, you seem a bit kind of impatient on the fact that Dano is taking a while to get there. So let's give Dano an opportunity to get there, and then you can let him know how you got to this piece that you are in now as far as the relationship.
I would just, I think, I'm never gonna assume, but I believe that for me, for women especially, well, some women, not all women, that when you're done with something, you're done. Men tease you and pull you along. So I just wanted to make sure that he's not like making sure that he
He's
doesn't
not
have a
teasing and
body
pulling her
there, because
along.
we all human, even women. You're like, oh, I don't want to get rid of this because I don't want to be alone. men don't want to, deep down.
People
what
don't
Let me
want
tell
to
you
be
what
alone.
People don't wanna
I'm
be
not
alone.
trying to say without saying it. I don't have no problem with women. I can have whatever I want. I choose not to.
No,
I mean
it's not
not
about
being
women.
alone.
I'm not
I'm saying
saying being
alone.
alone. Okay,
Like
okay.
if I want to not
type
be
of
alone,
woman.
I can attract whoever I want and not be alone. And I mean, even if I don't
But
want to be
no,
alone for that night. I mean, it's to
No,
that
but what
to
I'm
that
saying
degree.
is there's times when we all need to be alone.
Yes,
Just
that's
hang
why.
it up.
That's
be
why.
alone.
That's
Oh,
why
spend
right
time
now.
with yourself.
Women, I mean,
You
for
gotta
me,
have that
I
time
can be
with yourself.
alone. Leave me alone. God, please don't let nobody talk to me. Please don't let nobody. Let me just zone in.
Try to
on-
figure
But
it out.
men need somebody for whatever. Just entertainment.
You don't need
just
nobody?
No, I don't. I've been alone. I've been a year. How long have
Guess
you been
what?
without
I've been
Without what?
any opposite sex?
Oh.
Physical, mental,
Look, I've been.
sexual,
Look, I've
whatever.
been. I
think about
I moved out. I was living with.
How long have you been without
I've been
sex?
with. I've
Oh, without sex, you
We talking
taking
about
it.
something
That's a different.
We're not
This is
gonna
a
bring that
family
up.
show.
No, because sometimes you have to be without all of that. You have to give it all up to find yourself and to get
I'm not
back
trying
into.
to get that up.
Oh, well, see, there we go. There's a problem right there. There's a problem
I'm trying
right
to
there.
hang on
I'm not
to
trying to
it.
There
get
is
that
the
up.
fucking
That's not. It's
Look,
not a problem.
Things can be worked out if
Well, I've gone without for.
Well, good for you.
That's probably why she's upset
Good for
right
you.
now, y'all. Call in right now. See, we got a date.
I
Anybody
haven't
want
had
to go
to
out
do
with
that.
Leah? See, she hot like fire, y'all. Catch her now. Go ahead and
that's-
start texting now. Come on.
That's pay. That's pay.
All right, hold that thought. The next thing is that I want to have you deal with is the fact of can you just share when the guy
I'll
that
share
came in your
anything.
window?
Yeah, what do you want me to share? Okay, first of all,
Just tell me the day
Getting back to
he
the
did to the
day
window.
that I said. Sometimes, especially guys, even females, so I'm not gonna even feel like you're never ever going anywhere. You're always gonna be there. You're the
Yeah,
ride or
right.
die. You're the bottomless bee, whatever they call you. I didn't even know that existed. And I was
The
somebody.
baddest.
I went somewhere and somebody's like, "Oh, you that bottom bee." This is back in
Oh,
like
that's the bottom.
This is back in like the
Oh,
early
you
2000s.
said you was bottom.
I
You
was,
the
it was back in the
bottom.
early 2000s. I went somewhere after hours, and there was like, you the bottoms. I was like, the bottoms be? What is that? Like, in mind
Martha
you,
Stewart.
I did grew up in Inglewood.
I gotta answer this girl back right now while y'all talking.
Okay,
because
I grew
she's
up in
talking about
Inglewood,
this
so
right
I
now.
knew bottoms, but I thought about the bottoms, and I was like, bottoms? No.
Oh,
I was
my
like, oh yeah,
gosh.
you're down for whatever. I was like, so anyway, to make a long story short, when that came to a halt, they were like, oh my god, I can't believe you're, and I was just like, nothing lasts forever, and if you think it lasts forever, you're crazy. So finally they were like, please,
Depends
please,
whatever
please,
it is.
I'm sorry. I mean, like, why do guys
Whatever.
beg when it's over? You can't
They
do that.
beg when they start. They beg in the middle.
No,
and they
no.
beg at
This
the end.
particular motherfucker did not beg when it started.
Well,
He
we're going to have
begged
to
when it
leave his
over.
name. We're going to have to leave. We're going to have to leave his name
And
because
it's okay
His
because
name was
You're getting
Ron
upset.
you know
Asley.
what though? He tried.
he tried.
Ron
Well, you know
Asley.
what? I know who you are, and she's pretty heated right now about the whole thing. So we won't drop any names. Just
Oh, you can. It doesn't matter.
well, two people hit me and guessed the name, so I didn't reply because I don't want
And
nothing
look at my
happening on
new
this
boo
show.
over there.
But I don't think
He
we're gonna
know
deal
what
with
he
that.
doing.
She's gonna be in trouble. She's gonna be in
all
trouble.
day.
But again, like I said, Dano, the thing that really has us all puzzled is what are you doing now to alleviate the situation that you're in? Or you? I know that you said that you currently are
Right now, I've
going to court and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
talk to us about how you're resolving.
I
this.
wish I was a lawyer. I would come to.
how I'm resolving it is one step at a time. It's a process. It's not something that's going to be done overnight. But right now, I'm making adjustments for my life. You know what I mean? To be different, and my son being involved. You know, with me.
Right
It's your first
now, have
son?
you?
Is this your first son?
No, it's my second son.
Oh, Oh, you have a son too.
Yeah.
He's 10.
And that's probably why you feel the way that you do about it, as far as not really wanting to drop any names or anything else like that.
Because I mean, it's not necessary, because I've moved on. So
Right.
you know what I mean. At this point, it's what are you going to do with the situation now? And you know what I mean. Putting that person, they know what they did, they know what they do. So
Right,
there's no
right.
need, and you know what I mean. But the thing is that it was a relationship that did not turn out very well at all. And I mean, I've always tried to end all relationships on a platonic basis. Like, we should always be able to be friends, even if we don't have children.
Right.
But
But
we
the
have a
fact that you
child.
do have children, I think that it's really, really imperative that that line of communication becomes open. And I
mean,
think
I hope to someday, one day, that can be achieved. But I mean,
We're wrapping
just-
it up.
it's
It's
just-
unfortunate
it
because
takes
I'm feeling
two.
really sad. And they say we're wrapping it up, and I feel really sad because there's good men like him out there.
yeah. And there's just different things that we all need to do in order to be able to communicate more. Leah's crying. We'll get you some napkins. She's so emotional today, especially since two people didn't hit me and guess the name. But I didn't tell them. I didn't tell them
I'm
which
thinking
way
about
it
more
was.
about my dad
Yeah, that's true.
because they're a loser.
Your dad
They
was-
want to be your daddy. They didn't have daddy.
Yeah. I mean, I just know how that happens, you know. And again, like I said, I mean, for you to come this long way just to share with us everything that's going on in your life and what you're trying to do, we want to have you back on the show when you're able to have that resolved
absolutely.
and tell us how you got it resolved verbatim, because I know right now things are pretty problematic for you, but we really appreciate you coming on the show today and just
appreciate-
sharing with us
It,
how that goes.
It needed to be shared, and it was funny that someone had said something to me the other day. They were like, you know what, a lot of women are going around saying that
Come up to the mic a little bit, because people want
there's
to hear
people
what you
going
gotta
around
say.
saying that there's a lot of deadbeat dads out there, but
No,
guess what?
that's not true.
There's a lot of bitter women out there, and all this time a child can be thinking that their dad's not there, and it's because maybe the mom's not allowing them to be there.
Yes, I agree.
That's a different show.
I agree.
But as you guys can see, relationships are difficult. And what we try to do on this show is we try to resolve them. And I just want to say thank you to my guest, Dano from the Burg. Man, we're so happy to have you. And
happy
Leah
to be
C,
here. Happy to be
who
here.
got emotional today and really shared a lot. You cussed a lot. This is a family show. I'm gonna have to demote you to 8 merits.
No.
What are we doing now? We're collecting
my
money.
Son knows. He says, "Mom, stop cursing," but it has to be heard.
Yeah, and she
Sometimes
got
you
so
gotta say
emotional
something.
today, and just thinking about your situation and reflecting on her. So we love you guys, and keep sending in those texts, keep sending those questions so that we can keep our guests on letter. There is somebody out there that is just like you, Leah C. And there is somebody out there that's just like you, Dano. And we want them to know that they too can move forward in their lives in a positive way if they communicate. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Rappers in My Backyard. Leah C, you got anything for him, girl, besides tears today?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to think. Peace, love, and ass. And
hair
jail.
grease.
And jail. I love
And
jail.
Dano from the Burg, any party moments, any advice you'd like to say to the listeners before we go?
The key to all relationships, any relationships with anyone, is communication.
And stay happy. Just
You
be
have to
happy.
communicate and be honest.
Be honest. That's it. Rappers in My Backyard. We talk about music, entertainment, and relationships. We love you guys, and we'll see you soon.
Deuces.
All righty, we're out. We rap about relationships, entertainment, and music. You heard?